Hey guys, what's up? Lewis here from The Journey Do, and today we're going to be actually walking into Universal Studios and later to Islands of Adventure and see how the crowd levels are here and see how there are what has been changed due to the new procedures that are been into place. So without further ado, let's head inside to Universal Studios. Let's go. Okay, so right off of the bat, as soon as you get in, they actually have a team member making sure you have your mask on, which is great. That's the way it should be. I thought it was going to be empty, but it looks like they are transporting people back and forth, so boats are live. Now for this video, I'm not going to be doing any rides because I want to keep as safe as possible. And one of the reasons that I did also, which is why I came a couple days after opening, because I don't want to be here. There's just a bunch of people all over the place, so just trying to keep safe for me and my family. Now here are the markings on the entrance. Make sure people keep the 6 feet distance, and there's actually a lane here for the annual pass members.
Perfect. Have fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shops are open. Universal store is open. Now some of the rides will have the virtual queues and some of them won't. For example, these do not. 25 minutes for Shrek and 10 minutes for the Minions, which was only 10. And it was basically walk on. Now they're basically over here. And like for example, here's Shrek hanging out. Hey Shrek, how you doing? That is so cool. Awesome. There he is, just hanging out. That's awesome.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
How you doing? Everything good?
What's your name, buddy?
Lewis. Lewis. Yeah.
Where you from, man?
Right down the street, Kissimmee.
Right down the street?
Right down the street.
Wow. You having fun?
Yeah, so far, yeah. I'm staying dry, so far.
Man.
Yeah.
See, that guy's happy. I like happy people.
Okay. Take care, donkey. Take care. See ya.
Have fun, man.
Okay, see ya. That was cool. That's cool.
Have fun.
Okay, Rip Rocket ride is open and dropping people. Can't see it, maybe because I'm zoomed out, but there's actually an empty row. So they have the people sitting on the front, the middle row is empty, and then had people sitting in the back.
Now at all the refresher stations, they actually have a team member that wipes it down after each person does their selection. That way everything is nice and squeaky clean.
It was up to the pandas up in the window. It's so awesome. Okay, like I mentioned before, some of the rides have what they call a virtual line experience, which is basically you point your camera there and you make your reservation. That way you're free to explore around the park and then come back when the ride is open. Okay, the Mummy's the same thing, where it is a virtual queue line. You basically scan your phone, then come back when it's time to go in. Finnegan's is open. See people inside the bar. Maybe I'll find Discover Disney in there.
Now it's cool, it's this part which is where Jake and Elwood come out. You'll see that they have the markings on the floor as well, so that way everybody keeps their distance while enjoying the show.
You can see they got social distancing on the tables as well. The spacing of the people hasn't been bad, to be honest with you. Everybody's somewhat respected the space. Literally zero wait for the King's Cross train station.
Oh wow, this is not too bad at all. Doesn't look crowded at all.
Okay, let's go see how the store is. Guess they have this queue space here for one of the stores, which I'm suspecting the door over here.
Which is a store that we just came out of, but I guess since it's so little people, they have everybody coming in and out the same door, which is fine.
And then for the show of Celestina, you can see how they have the spaces marked here to make sure people keep their 6 feet distance. Let's go into another shop and check it out. I'm literally the only one inside the shop, but they do have the spacing here. Check this out. Let me do a pan around so you can more or less get an idea of the people that are here. Now for this guy here, you can see that they don't have anybody actually outside with them. That the head's in there moving, so I guess he's just hanging out. Looks like he's sleeping. Let's go ahead and knock on the door. Let me see if Creature comes out. There he is. Hey, Creature. So that was the Harry Potter area. As you saw, there wasn't too many people, and actually some of the stores, there was nobody in it except me and the team members. They did have queue lines for the people on the outside to direct people in and out, but I guess there were so little people, we were using the same door to come in and out, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. All open, all open. As you can see, they have plenty of tape on the floor doing the social distancing. See, the chairs have been actually separated with 6 feet distance. Now coming up to the train that was used in Back to the Future, and the dock is actually up there. That's so cool. They got these areas, which is resting areas where you can actually sit down and then take your mask off after a while, which probably isn't a bad idea. Okay, sure feels good to take the thing off for a little bit. It's probably like 80 something degrees, but the humidity is what's killing me, to be honest with you. I feel my face all wet in the bottom part of it. But nothing, we're just gonna sit here for a couple of minutes, chill out for a little bit. Now this area is huge. The area that they sign here before you can take your mask off. As you can see, there's plenty of space and the tables are really spread out. Let's go check out ET. Got a stage here for the trolls. I guess since they're not doing meet and greets, so I guess they meet here and you can take photos with them standing off of the stage. Kids Zone Pizza is closed, which is good because that pizza, I was not a fan of it. SpongeBob and Squidward aren't meeting. Barney shop is closed. Sorry, Barbie. The show is actually open, and I can see from over here they are taking people, and times are been announced on all the boards and everything. So if you guys want to see Barney, he's here. He's available. Okay, we're gonna head now inside ET, which is actually the only ride that's been here since the park opened. Okay, so a couple of things. Before you actually get on the ride, they do actually give you hand sanitizer. And throughout the queue, there was spacing on the floor, so they made sure that you kept your spacing even before you got on the ride. When I did get on the ride, I was actually alone with only one person, and they were seated 3 rows behind me. And on my same row, I had nobody next to me. So even down to being on the ride, they had this all figured out, which is awesome. We got our goodies. And a magnet. Okay, now even the outside seating has it's marked for people won't be sitting next to each other. For example, you can see here it says reserved, and here there's no reserved, so you can actually sit on these chairs. Pretty cool. And you got the employees wiping everything down constantly, which is really good. Is it safe to say that those boats are keeping social distancing as well? Yes, they are. Okay, the next one up is Islands of Adventure. Let's go inside. Okay, now just like Universal Studios, we got a line for the annual pass holders, which is me. Okay, painless entry. As you can see, there wasn't literally no one in the entrance. Now when you walk in, they do have these information guides here. Basically a pamphlet explaining what they mention on the outside. We're going to keep this, we're not going to put it back. And there's also the it's a map guide. Actually a paper map guide that you can hold on to and keep. Now just like the other rides, some of them do have a virtual queue, in this case Hagrid's. Okay, just as suspected, I went ahead and did the virtual queue. It's 4:30 and there's no return time, so I guess that's a fail. And right across the entrance, which is where you can see across to Jurassic Park, is the resting zone here. Now there's literally nobody here in the entrance of Seuss Landing. Check this out. The ride of Cat in the Hat is open, just 5 minutes. Now, if you guys remember, the storyteller reading, which used to be done with all the kids, is now being done behind the rope.
Life's a great balancing act.
And the Cat in the Hat and Thing 1 and 2 there. Shops are open. Candy shop isn't. Poseidon's Fury is open, as well as Mythos. Now, if you guys remember this guy who likes to, throw water on everybody, they actually have here the spots where you can stand to keep the social distancing. I'm not gonna get too close because I know what happens. Okay, this looks rough. Everybody looks like they're crammed up, which doesn't look fun. So I'm going to do a really mad dash through this area. You're going to see what I mean when they flip it around. We're almost out. Almost out. Looks like most of the people just clump up where the ride is, even though it's a virtual queue and they're telling the people that they don't have to be there. They actually are. They're standing around.
It's like the one that says reading
Looks like some construction going on here right next to the ride. And right over this wall you can see some of the more of the construction going on for the ride that still has not been named in Jurassic Park. Now Kong's only 10 minutes. Okay, the next section is Toon Lagoon. So let's take a walk through here and see the people getting wet. Okay, just like in the other sections of the park, these machines and games are actually pretty much empty. And I don't know if it was me or the time that day that I'm visiting the park that I had seen very little characters. So I guess if you're going to visit, make sure you come in earlier than what I did. I came almost on around 3:30 to 4. I haven't seen any characters except a few that we saw on the Universal, which was the donkey and Shrek. So.
And then Jurassic Park.
Spider-Man is only 5 minutes. Five minutes for Doom's Free Fall. Okay, now, but before we leave, we need to get some video footage of Gilda's favorite ride, which is the Incredible Hulk here at Islands of Adventure. So Gilda, this one's for you.
Okay, now just before I went out, I actually stopped here for a churro and a drink, and it was really impressive how the team member had everything wiped down after every transaction. And as a bonus, you can also do the contactless payment like I'm doing here.
Okay guys, so that's it here from Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. Hope you guys enjoyed this walk around, and hopefully you know what to expect if you're planning to do a trip here soon. So you know what are the changes that have been happening with all the social distancing and all the the markings on the floor and all that stuff. So that way you do not run into any surprises. So again, this is recorded probably 4 or 5 days after Universal officially opened. So you more or less know how the crowd levels are. Thanks for watching and stay awesome. Until then, see ya, take care. Bye.